I'm Rebecca Fryer with Kingstonist News. Here's what's making headlines today, January 27th, 2023. The number of people on the wait list for elective surgeries in Kingston, according to Kingston Health Sciences Centre President and CEO, Dr. David Pechora, is more than 7,000 thanks to the pandemic. And while recently the provincial government announced that they would be pushing for publicly funded hospitals to try to delegate some backlog surgeries to private facilities, Dr. Pechora is cautious about what this will mean for the quality of care as well as for patient aftercare. Now, this isn't to say that Dr. Pechora is against the idea of public and private clinics working together to tackle the backlog. He cautions, though, that this isn't a fix and says it's more of a band-aid solution that he hopes lawmakers will build on, with many long-term aspects yet to be finalized, including costs and patient information sharing. To combat the backlog within our local hospital system, Kingston Health Sciences Centre is once again back at 100% of its operating room capacity, with 40% of procedures reserved for patients who have been waiting longer than the targeted wait times set by the province. The reading of the verdict for accused murderer Michael Wentworth continues today in the Superior Court of Justice at the Frontenac County Courthouse. Wentworth stands accused of robbery, manslaughter, and murder, with Justice Lori Lascelles presiding over the case. Justice Lascelles began reading her verdict yesterday, Thursday, finding Wentworth guilty of robbing a TD bank and of committing home invasion of a 92-year-old woman back in 1995. Manslaughter charges against Wentworth were dropped. However, he remains accused of 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of causing damage by explosion to property. Lascelles will continue reading her verdict today, beginning at 10 a.m. Kingston police have arrested a 58-year-old for sexual assault and breach of a supervision order following an incident near John Counter Boulevard and Montreal Street. Police say it was just after 6 p.m. on January 19th when they got a call from an adult female who said she had just been sexually assaulted in a secluded area by an unknown man. Thankfully, police were able to discern and identify the suspect, who was then arrested and taken into custody for a bail hearing. Speaking of police, a reminder from KP to slow down and drive to the road conditions following a collision that resulted in a truck going through a residential fence and then into someone's backyard on Thursday. It was around 9 a.m. that police say 2 vehicles collided at the intersection of Taylor Kidd Boulevard and Centennial Drive, severely damaging one of the vehicles, sending it careening over the sidewalk and into the yard. Thankfully, there were no injuries, and police say the driver of the truck was charged with careless driving. More from Kingston Police, as we've just learned that Murney, the Kingston Police Mounted Unit, will not be taking to the streets this year due to multiple challenges and the availability of trained staff. The organization says the program wasn't renewed for 2023 despite numerous fundraising attempts. Kingstonist has inquired with Kingston Police as to the total amount of money raised by the community since 2021 to support the mounted unit, as well as if anything other than staffing issues contributed to the termination of the program. You can keep checking back with Kingstonist for updates if and when they become available. And lastly, Indigenous artists and storytellers are invited to submit proposals for an upcoming installation in downtown Kingston. According to a release from the Downtown Kingston BIA, the project has 2 streams, and they are looking for local Indigenous storytellers to tell traditional winter stories from their culture using video or audio, and then for Indigenous artists to design and build outdoor art installations that represent the recorded stories. For more on this project, visit kingstonist.com. The submission deadline for proposals is 4 p.m. this coming Tuesday, January 31st. For more on these stories and other headlines, or to submit your own news, visit kingstonist.com and become a subscriber today. I'm Rebecca Fryer. Have a great one, Kingston.